Hey everybody, and sorry, I just wanted to send the link into the Noodle community, so just in case anyone wants to follow along, they can. We're back with another episode, fun-filled episode of developing LearnBook in Noodle. So let's get going with the correct Miro board. That would be great. And our Figma is there. Our ChatGPT is here. We have everything we need to do some awesome Noodle development. So yeah, what I really would like to do today is I know I've been sort of skipping around all over the place, and I probably should focus just on one thing because I'll forget what I was developing in one part and move on to another part, and come back to it later and be disappointed that I've forgotten. But I really would like to get the kind of main dashboard page a bit advanced, if possible, done today. So because I have a meeting, I would like to show the client the dashboard page. So let's get into it. So we had some possibly some updates from the designer as well. I think we had some extra spaces. Oh, we already talked about this last time, the extra fields and stuff that we're going to be adding to learners and groups. I don't think there was anything else. Possibly these updates to the sign-up process we have to come back and finish at some point, where it's much clearer for teachers how they can sign up as either a training organization or as a freelancer, or if they're part of a training organization already. So it's this complex sign-up process of LearnBook that we have to get right at some point. So let's say maybe we can sort of work on creating this first instance of the dashboard page where there aren't any lessons, there aren't any learners. So we can sort of insert these groups and texts as placeholders, and then later we'll add in these other groups and texts that show when there actually are learners. So at least we'll get the areas right. Each sort of unique area that will identify that. So the part for like upcoming lessons, the part for like your lesson library, the part for the learner dashboard where we can add new learners. So yeah, it would be great if we could get this mostly squared away today. So I'm going to be opening this up, or possibly I wonder if it might be easier. No, just leave it like this. Leave it like this, keeps things simple. So we have our, and by the way, I'm using version 2.9.2 today. There was an update. So just in case you're following along and wondering, that function is not in the, feature is not in the experimental features anymore. It's in the normal features. That's maybe just because this video is old. Hopefully you're watching it later. And it's nothing to do with my setup. And so let's go back to the dashboard. So I've already got a huge list of stuff here, which we're going to have to chop down, especially now that we're going to try to work on these different areas. You know, we're going to have this group, which is like group plus image plus text. And then we're going to have under that, hidden but still in the object model, we're going to have, tabs, repeater, sort of a group that contains them. So we are going to need to go very quickly towards something with components. At the moment I don't have any components. I also seem to have, this page has gone a bit funky. It's left dashboard main. Yeah, it's all kind of, was this because I added the header that it's gone like this? It's all squished up to the top. Yeah, like our logo is squished. What happened there? Is that still valid image? No, the LearnBook image is broken. Why did that happen? I have to go into my project folder and have a look and see where the image has gone. Oh, all my images have gone. That's not very nice. Could that be a 2.9.2 issue that's deleted all my, oh no, because I put it in assets. Silly me. Oops. And yeah, that was, actually what happened was I moved it in, cleverly moved it into assets and images, and so I can organize this better. but forgot to update the absolute path. So you can see that it's still saying here that it's in the root folder of my project, LearnBook logo.png. So this is an important lesson for me as well. I didn't know this, that the source path that you select is not a, what do you call that? Relative path? Was it when it like changes depending on where it is? It's an absolute path. So if I choose LearnBook logo again, it's going to update the absolute path to assets/images/learners. Another important point that I discovered, apparently this, which I may have already mentioned, but it's worth mentioning several times. Apparently this path that's being put here is not sensitive to case mistakes. So I wonder if I can try this. If I put images here, and then, yeah, so it's still there. Like I've got a capital I for images and the LearnBook logo is still there. Whereas clearly the images path here is with a small I. That's something that I was told that Noodle is okay with those kind of like case mistakes in the path when it's the local project. And then when you deploy it, suddenly the image has disappeared and you can't figure out why. And it's because the absolute path it'll be translated into a path in the deployed version of the project, the same folders like /assets/images/LearnBook logo, but hosted in the cloud. But it won't be as kind with case mistakes. So if you put an I, capital I instead of a small I, then that will not be acceptable. So something to keep in mind. So where am I? Okay, so that logo is back, but it's hidden behind the header. We did have a right group, didn't we? So learner and group container, right dashboard, top profile. Did I say that it disappears? Did I make it hidden? Where did this go? Why is it not shown? It is mounted. If I make this very wide, it does not show up. Did I make a mess of this last time or what? Oh, probably because there's nothing in it yet. I guess probably all these groups are just like 100% groups with no actual content. So if I put a text in there, hello world. Where is it? Oh, it's up here. Okay, yeah. So it is there. It's just behind the header again. Where's that header? Oh, so yeah. This was the other thing that this is what I mean. Like coming back to something, I haven't been on this for a few days, and I've already forgot a ton of stuff. So we put a header at the top last time, and we made it a global header. We said, you know, every page is going to have this header from now on. It's going to be the best header ever. It might have not been a good idea to put this as a global header everywhere, because I think it's going to probably change from one screen to another. So I have a choice. Do I want to put a header top bar here where the page router is, so that it's like on every main page, no matter what, and then I don't have to like copy and paste it into lots of different pages, so that with that option, then I would have to make it. I would put something in here. I'll do a AI function. Outputs the current page path. This is quite. I know how to do this. I don't know how to do a lot of things in JavaScript, but I do know how to output the page path, like window.location.host. No, path. Yeah, okay, maybe I don't know how to do it. But doing the AI just means that I get that done like slightly faster. They got this new button now, Open Code Editor in 2.9.2. Very nice. Yeah, window location path name, output path, page path equals page path. Good. So it's outputting /. So I'm on the home page, right? So that would be a way to do it where I could say, okay, if you could do like a switch and say something like with cases like / outputs dashboard to dashboard or something like that, or dashboard page, and do it as a signal, for example. You could do also other things as well. You could do like a true false output as well, and then feed that in there, and that would hopefully output dashboard page. And so I would say then like if dashboard page, then change the state of the header and make it, so we'll call it like a dashboard header. And we'll say that that's going to be background color transparent, for example. And then, so we'll say dashboard page goes to dashboard state, and dashboard state means background color is. So then that changes the background color to transparent. Does that actually work? No. Oh, border color, huh? Yeah, that would make a difference, but not the difference I'm looking for. Background color. Ta-da! So there you go. That clears up a little bit the mess. And then if I go to the lesson create page that we run, then I could say that that has a specific kind of background as well to the head, like the headers here. I could say when the page is /lesson/create, make the background blue or something like that, you know, and decide on different states like what's shown, what's hidden. So it could be like show profile avatar or hide profile avatar, depending on if it's on this page we want to hide it, if it's on this page we want to show it. I don't think I want to do this because it means kind of storing everything in here and then making everything based on page path. I'm not really confident about that. I can't, I won't be able to have inputs on this that then I can say like sometimes it's going to be transparent, sometimes not, depending on maybe a in-page condition, which I think is better because one of the problems I had last time was trying to think about this should be transparent when it's at the top. Yeah, because then it'll show the white bit here, the orange bit here will show through because we have this group as an orange background, and so I want that to show orange. And then when I scroll down, I'm going to want this LearnBook thing to be sticky, so, and the profile to be sticky, but then I'll probably make like it become sort of white, not opaque, but like slightly transparent. So I want to feed that into the header component. I want to say, okay, we're on the dashboard page. If page position or whatever, I'm going to figure out, I don't know how to do that yet, but if page position changes, change background color to slightly transparent white. And so then as we scroll down, it's going to become white all the way across, including at this orange bit. And then if we scroll back to the top, it goes back to transparent and it gives you this nice blocky kind of solid look. That would only be possible if I have conditions on the page that are feeding into the header directly. And I can't do that if my header's here. I can do it, but it's going to be more complicated with like component objects and things to feed information in here. So it feels like having it automatically on every page versus actually remembering to put it on every page. You know, I think the putting it on every page is actually going to be less work in the end than having it here. So I'm going to close that down, get it away, and then I'm going to put it here instead. So header top bar goes above main container, I think. Let's go back to the dashboard and have a look. Yes. So that's good. Header top bar, main container. So the main container, you know, header top bar is sticky. So it means that it's not sticky. What do you call it? Yeah, is it sticky or absolute? Anyway, it's in front of the stuff in the object model, and so this main container is actually all the way up to the top. It's not being pushed down in that responsive style below the header. Anyway, so forget about what I'd said about path functions, although it's cool. We don't need that. I'll keep a states node because I actually want to maybe have some states. So let's call it dashboard transparent. I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but I kind of think it might be fun. Dashboard see-through. No, transparent and see-through is kind of the same thing, isn't it? Semi-opaque. Opaque. Is that how you spell opaque? Okay. So this is going to be called dashboard styles. No, header styles. Header styles. So if it's semi-opaque, it's going to be like, it's going to be primary light. No, it's going to be white, but with, I don't know, 30%, 50%, I don't know, of opacity, just so I can see the stuff and it doesn't, I don't want it to obfuscate the stuff that's, sorry, I wanted to obfuscate the stuff that's behind it, but I don't want the stuff that's behind it to show through too much and not be, you know, mix up with the logo and make it look weird. So this is the state. State. That'll do for now. I don't actually have anything up there yet. What's supposed to be up there? So the LearnBook logo, where am I? Where am I? The LearnBook logo is supposed to be up at the top. So actually we can take this group and put it in here. Nice. And it's gonna be, is that got a white background? Oh, that's a pain. That kind of ruins my plan. I can use the, we'll use that magic tool. Magic Apple tools. Oh no, I found one. Okay, that was the old logo, but just use it for now. So we have to move that into our project folder. Images, there we go. So this is going to be, I don't want to have parentheses in there because it doesn't seem like that plays nicely with LearnBook logo transparent. Doesn't play nicely with the back end stuff in Noodle, I don't think. LearnBook logo transparent, that's better. Okie dokie. And then we're going to make this group a bit more centered. A bit of padding, no, a bit of margin. Okay, looks nice. So right now it looks really silly, and that's because our header is floating over the top of the main container. So the main container actually needs to have a header's worth of an 80 pixels worth of margin. Better. Okay, so I don't know yet if this is scrollable. Did I ever make this? I did make it fixed. Okay, cool. Hence why it's in front of all the stuff. That makes sense, doesn't it? Okie dokie artichoke. Can I make this vertical height? That's better. It's starting to look a bit more normal. Where am I? Okay. What did I want to do next? Oh yeah, the profile bit at the side. And I did want to check if it scrolls or not. Yeah, look at it scrolling. Scrolling, but it's still transparent because I haven't done that change yet. So, can we ask ChatGPT to do that? Let's try. Did output true when the user starts scrolling down? When the user, no, bad prompt. When the window Y position is not 0. Is that right? Will ChatGPT understand? It tends to understand a lot of stuff, even if you say stupid stuff that regular developers would probably laugh at. ChatGPT tends to understand. Ooh. No, input Y position, that's not what I wanted. I don't have a input Y position. Okay, try this. Outputs the current Y position of the window. And we're going to mix them together. It looks good. Yes. Give me that code. So give me that code. So window. So Y position equals window scroll Y or window Y offset or document editing scroll top. Okay, I guess that's maybe for different browsers. I don't know, but we trust in ChatGPT, obviously. And should we do an or 0? Probably don't need it. Do we? No, maybe we do. Yes, we do, because maybe it doesn't detect it when the page is loaded, and so. Okay, so I guess that's going to go through all of these different values until it finds one. Otherwise, if they're all undefined, then it's going to go with 0. Is that how JavaScript works? I hope so. So we're going to change this to ypos. We're going to put this up here. Does that look good? It does. It does look good. It's not 0 is true. It's a false failure. Okay. So I can discard this. And then yes. So I wanted to change the state. How do I do that? Do I need a state on the outside to change the state on the inside? I guess that's okay. So it's called dashboard transparent and dashboard semi-opaque. This doesn't seem like the most elegant way to do this, so I'm sure I could have done it better. If somebody has an idea, always feel free to leave it in the comments. Semi-opaque. Okay. So if it is 0, if it no, is not 0. So let's change these outputs because they don't really make sense. It's not a success, is it? Not 0. Outputs is 0. It probably don't need the true false ones, but just leave them just in case. Who knows when we might need that. So if it's not 0, we go semi-transparent, and if it is 0, we go transparent. And because it's transparent by default, that'll help us with that thing at the top. And then we say that the state name is the name of the state of the header bar. Good Lord. Okay. That's fine. Everything's fine. So if we scroll, nothing happens. Awesome. That's what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted. And so we need an event listener. Add an event listener to page scroll. Will that work? I'm abusing the AI. But I know what I want. I just don't know how to say it, and I don't know things about JavaScript like adding event listeners, so I have to rely on the AI, or I'm going to start asking ChatGPT for real. Scroll function, window via, no, output scrolled. Oh, okay. That's maybe what I want. I don't care about that. I don't even know why I did that. Scroll position. Oh, okay. Input page Y offset is greater than scroll position. Actually, I think I just want. Right. So if there's an event listener on scroll, the function is if page Y offset. So no, output scrolled. Window page Y offset. Yeah, I guess it has to be greater than something to output an event, doesn't it? So we have to like store the scroll position somewhere. Maybe I do need that then. So it starts at 0. It outputs the scroll position. We can then output the scroll position is window page Y offset. And it's going to store that in a number. Okay. And then when it scrolls, the number is going to be the scroll, no, yeah, the input scroll position is going to be that number. And then it's going to check against that number and update that number every time. Will that work? Or is that going to break the whole thing? Let's find out. So it's given it 0. I'm going to scroll. Whoa, look at that. That's pretty funky. Well done, ChatGPT. I've got scroll position. How come I went back to 2? Oh dear. Well, let's say if it's greater than 2, then yeah, so we don't actually need this anymore, I don't think. Yeah. It's just, I'm worried that this is, you know, we're losing everything except for page Y offset, but let's just leave it for now. I don't want to mess around with this too much. So we're going to pick an expression here, and the expression is going to be scroll position is greater than 2. On true, it goes to semi-transparent. On false, it goes to transparent. And so this in scroll position is going to go in here. It's going to just run it all the time. And now it's semi-transparent. And now it's transparent. It seems to have some sort of transition though going on, which is a bit weird. It goes kind of grey for a second. What's that all about? Oh, because there's transitions. Duh. Oh no, it's not because of that. This has transitions too. That's maybe nice to have a transition. I don't know. I don't really understand transitions that much, so yeah, no, well, I actually don't understand. This is like my whole CSS phobia. I just don't understand all that stuff, so I'll just make it go straight to. That's nice. So, oh, actually, fair point. I forgot something. The main container is not supposed to have the padding at the top, because then it means our lovely little orange thing there is not going to do what I wanted to do. We need the left dashboard main to have 80 padding at the top, or possibly 80 margin as well, because we already have padding on the inside of it, so forget that. So that's cool, because it means then I can scroll. No, I can't scroll anymore because there's not enough content, but it means that the orange bit is going to be behind the header now, which is cool. That's what I wanted. That's nice. Yeah, cool. I did need this state, didn't I? I do. Well, no. Well, yes, I do. No, I do. Never mind. Okay. Leave that for now. That's nice. So store scroll Y position. Again, there's probably a more elegant way to do this function. I don't think it's very good that it's kind of outputting and then inputting to itself. There's probably a way of doing that internally in the code that makes more sense. But just leave it for now. It's fine. And okay, so we've got our header bar thing there. And then I would actually do this. I'm going to start componentizing the whole thing. So we're going to say dashboard header. And the dashboard header is going to have all of this stuff. Cut. Paste. So I've got a container inside a container, inside a container, like it. So the main container I'm going to componentize as well, and the right dashboard I'm going to componentize. That's not a word. It's not a word. And left dashboard. So right dashboard. Don't need that group. And put the right dashboard down. Oh, put it at the bottom, it's fine. And then this, all of this stuff needs to go. Left dashboard, delete the group, don't need it. Main group is already here. Okay. Now there's nothing anymore. And then there was something. Right dashboard, and above it is a left dashboard, and it's back to where it was before. So that's a little bit tidier, like you could argue, for the dashboard page, and that's what I would expect to see on a dashboard page, something tidy like that. So I've got header, left, right, and then the left is also going to have its own little chunks as well. It's going to have the repeater, so recent lessons, what was that? So I'm going to call this, I'm going to make a sub thing. This is how I like to organize things. I've seen people organizing their Noodle projects very differently, making folders for things, saying like right dashboard elements and then putting them in that folder. But I actually like to create them directly under the element in question. If I know that they're only going to be used in that one place and I'm just doing it for organization, I'm not reusing that element in multiple places, I'll put it under the parent element itself, because for me that's the easiest way I have of remembering where things are. But if, however, it's like the header, then I don't put the header only in dashboard. I put it in, like, it's not a sub part of dashboard header, it's in default because I have the global visual components in there as a folder. So right, we wanted to do what's that called? Org search and group. What was that about? Oh yeah, so it's like top bit, you know, what I want to call that, but what are we going to call it? Top row. So welcome row. That's this bit down to here. Nope. Hold, lesson search, which should be next to lessons, surely. Why the heck do I have a lesson search in there? Oh, because when there's lessons, there's a lesson search. So it's going to search here probably, wouldn't it? That's okay. I'm like scared of like, oh, but then the output of this needs to feed into this. Yeah, but that's okay. We can put it in an output and back in the input. It's no big deal. Or we pass it in as component objects. We say the search term is in a parent component object. Well, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Just don't need to talk about it. You just do it. I'm a man of action. So we'll go here, I reckon. Yep. Oh, and this whole thing should be in there too. Oops. Oh no. Shift click. Yeah, that's right. Okay, welcome row done. And then this, so I've just, you know, I'm sort of automatically just using my developer brain to be like, this bit is going to be a component because it has kind of coherence together. It says some things that are coherent. This bit is obviously a group because it has bits that are coherent, like the left right arrows need to feed into this. And then these two might be even two groups side by side in a reusable component because there are so many things in here, icons, and we need to feed data into this, we need to do queries. So I'm sort of organizing it like that. So the recent lessons group I said was 1, and the learner and group containers is 1. So recent lessons. Recent lessons row. That becomes, oh no, and that goes in here. Nice, and then learner group container becomes learner group row, and then within learner group row, and this is where we start getting a bit bananas, and people might say that I'm not right doing this, but within learner group row, then I would do another sub element in there, because again, I don't think this appears, I don't think this particular configuration of learners and groups, lessons, sorry, call it groups, learners and lessons row, I don't think it appears anywhere else. So let's rename that as learner lessons row. And then sub part is going to be learner group. And lessons group. So like I said, some people might say this is too many nested levels of stuff, but it's just it's like how it is in the DOM, and so that's how it is in my head, and so that's the way I want to do it. Dang it. So let's put this in here, and then put this in here, and then learner group, and lesson group and learner group. Learner group was first because it's a horizontal group. Nice. Okay, so this is where it starts also with Noodle development. This is where it starts to get a little bit confusing, because you're like, I had it all laid out in one view before. I knew where everything was and I could feed information into the different parts. Now I've got this like very tidy bit here, but I have to kind of go into each one of these elements to edit and see what I'm up to. So that's, that takes a little bit of mental gymnastics to get used to this, but not that much. So let's start from the top and work down. Now we have our lovely Figma. We can have a look at fonts. So it's Jakarta Sans. I think I already put that as the app. Yeah, we did already put that as the app standard. So this is Jakarta Sans 26. In the welcome row. So this is, your name is 26. Oops. And the welcome is 13. It's a bit too small, 13, no? Oh geez. It's very small. Don't like that. 14. Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be discrete, I guess, but it's a bit too small for my liking. And this is also 400 weight, but it looks a bit bolder. It's funny that her Jakarta Sans look a bit different than mine. So this is username. Nope. Username. Alrighty. So then we need the org picker and the search bar. So this is the org picker. And we have the org icon, and then the search bar, org pill, org icon. Let's put in just a basic icon. This one. Oh yeah, because the path changed again. Oops, forgot about that. And then the search bar is okay already. And then we had our pills. which are not okay because our pills are not okay. No, it's the wrong one. Welcome group. Yep, welcome group. Oh, what about spacing? Let's do a little bit of spacing so it doesn't look so ridiculous. 10 and 20. Okay, we'll do some manual spacing then, I guess. So this will have 10 and this will have 20 and starting to look a bit more coherent. And then at the, should we say the top of this or the bottom, there's going to be some margin there. Margin. Well, let's see. So it's 40. Yeah, let's just put it at the bottom of this group. Dude, bottom. I'm like, this is another CSS thing, but I'm like, should I rather prioritize top margin? Like I'll say, you know, not welcome has 10 pixels at the bottom, rather username has 10 pixels at the top. And then this one has 20 pixels at the top rather than this one having 20 pixels at the bottom. I don't know. I guess bottom makes more sense, right? Pushing things down from the top. So let's just stick with that for the moment. So this whole group has a 40 pixel margin at the bottom that leads to our little pills. Now the problem with our pills is they don't light up automatically. Why the heck are they not lighting up automatically? Gosh darn it. So let's refresh the page. So we had a states, dashboard pills, yep. And then we go in here. Type selected is none. Pill clicked is not. Selected type is nothing at the moment, that's why. So selected type needs to be, default pill was what we wanted. First item, default pill type. And then when this is fetched, it's just gonna, nope. Of course. Set component object properties. Sometimes it feeds in the type to the, oh no, because the type didn't come out. That's why. Oops. So this has not been executed, that's why. Okie dokie. So when this is mounted, I tend to avoid the mounting signals sometimes because I feel like they're not as reliable. You don't really know when something's going to be declared as mounted or not. So it's not been executed because there's no items, I guess. Pill array needs to go up here. Pill array items. That might just do it. Oh yeah. So we fed our items in, we filtered and said that we want to find the default field. And so all of my arrays have a default field, true or false. And so this filters out the first one. It filters out any of them that have a default true, but there's only one. And so I get first item ID into an object, which gives me the fields that I want. And then, this is something, again, probably people will talk about a lot in the future, but the whole object question for me was something that was hard to get my head around, even though it's like the very basic principles of JavaScript. But objects in JavaScript and in Noodle, it's a way of, everything that's an array, an item, even just one field items have some sort of ID as like an object ID that I can reference somewhere else and pull out as, this array of, this object full of values. And then the value can be defined and pulled out from the object. And all that happens dynamically. It doesn't have to be all fixed. If there's not a type field, it doesn't matter. It'll just output nothing or it'll output undefined. And so this is something that is super important in Noodle and in development, I guess, in general. But from Bubble, I never got that because you don't want to do queries all the time. You want to do a query when you need data the first time. Just get the data you need, and then if you need to reference it elsewhere, get the object ID and just use it, because it's done. The data's returned from the API, stored on the front end as an array of objects, and then those objects are given unique IDs by Noodle, and then you can reference those unique IDs wherever you want. You can filter, get the ID you need, put it somewhere into an object, which just means you can kind of pass that data that you called once, you pass it around all over the app. Bubble did this automatically. I know that I read stuff on Bubble database logic before, and they were saying that it was if you do like 2 concurrent API calls that are calling the same data, it'll only run it once, and it'll use the return data in the second instance as front-end data. It won't do the call every single time it's referenced, because like sometimes I would have, you know, query the learners from this teacher, and I would have it in a billion different places on the page because I would like want their name, you know, query the learner's first name, query the learner's last name, and it's just a Bubble automatically made the difference and said, oh, you've already got the learner, so I'm not going to query it again, I'm just going to get it out of the object, the first name and the last name. And so Bubble did this all automatically, and you don't see anything. With Noodl, you have to do it yourself, so you have to know the difference between when you're going to call the data, at what point do you want to call the data, and then put it into an array, get the array filtered, you know, you can do searches and filters on the array to get the data out you need, and then get the values out that you need into wherever you need it to go. So I'm not going to call the data twice. Anyway, it's not really relevant for here because I've actually, this is all front-end data. You know, I'm defining I'm defining the array on the front end already. The static array, it will be loaded with the website. So when the user loads this page, the static array will already be in there. So this is be the equivalent of option sets in Bubble. So this is an option set with, you know, 4 or 5 different fields. So that was something that was really important for me to learn how to do option sets coming from Bubble, because it's a lifesaver. Anyway, moving on. Now if I click this and I click this, oh no, nothing happens. Why does nothing happen? Oh yes, it does. Okay, so I can go back and forth. That's cool. I would like that actually to be with a cursor, a pointer, sorry. That's better, I think. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. How come sometimes it lets me click it and sometimes not? Like, look, I'm on it. I'm not on it. I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm not on it. Did it overflow or something? No. No, the whole thing should be. It's weird. Anyway, we'll come back to that later. It's amazing how many things I kick down the road. I just don't like taking breaks. I don't like stopping and agonizing over something for hours. And like it'll either sort itself out or the answer will become clear in the course of time. But I don't want to do it right now. Okay, I'm going to do some static data, and we're going to get these gosh darn courses showing up with all these lovely examples here that we have, because I just want to. I want to make progress. Okay, so we have our selector, which we're not going to hook up just yet to the actual data here, but we will. And we know that we're going to hook it up by using a component object. I'll probably change this to a parent component object and then put the selected type out here, put the component object out here. And then that'll tell us which pill has currently been selected and therefore which query we need to do here in our repeater. Yes, that is what I will do. Will that be good? I hope so. Set parent component object properties. Selected type. I always like to keep the elements visible when I'm replacing something. I don't just delete it and replace it. I find that I just never remember, and then I'm like, am I sure that I did it right? Whereas this way, what I like about Noodle is you can hover over the element you're about to replace, and it'll show you in the case that it has like a million different, you know, like if it's like this has like a million different noodles coming off it, then you can see, okay, this element has 1, 2, 3, then I need to replace something like that. Now that was just an example, so delete that. But it means I'm like, okay, 1, 2, going here and here, 1, 2, going here and here. Yep, I can delete that. That's cool. I'm confident. Deleting it with confidence. And this one only has 1, so that's fine. and then y apparent, because then here I can put the component object, stop the chain reaction and say, okay, here's the component object, and selected type is up here. And so there we go, selected type recent. And so that then I'll use that selected type value to filter properly the lessons that are going to be under here. Okie dokie. So we had columns. We wanted it to be 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. I don't know how many they're going to be, but they're going to be a minimum width of 168 plus 20. So the columns need to be a minimum width of, my brain hurts. Let's say 168 for the moment, and then we'll see. I might have to add 10 onto it to make that split between the 20 gap. So that's 168, and they're going to be centered, because if somebody makes it smaller, then we need to make it go away. We're also going to have to say, I'm going to have to think about what way that's going to work here. If I make the screen smaller, I don't want them to stack up. I want this to be like 4 if it's this size, 5 if it's wider. If the screen squishes down more narrow, then it'll only be 3. And then if you're in mobile mode, you'll just have one previous course with the left-right buttons always there to help you to move in between them, which they're not there at the moment, by the way. So left-right icons. Can't click on icons. So we're going to have to make a, oh, hold on a second. Did I already make a icon global visual component? I didn't. I always do. I say always, and I've been using Noodle for like 4 months. Okay, so we're going to do a global visual component, and it's going to be called clickable icon. It's going to be a group with an icon. Simple. Now I've done this before, and the last time I did it, I used states, and the state was like right aligned, left aligned, size, padding, and stuff like that. I actually think that wasn't the right way to do it, because then I restricted myself to having, yes, it means it's easy to put it down and just say, okay, this is a right chevron icon, right aligned, and that's all that you get, and that's fine. But there were some cases where I wanted to have a more specific icon just for one particular case. I didn't want to just add it into the states. I ended up with a states node that was too big. For that app, it was okay because it didn't have so many icons, but it meant that like if I wanted to make it float or something like that, I don't know, be in a fixed position, I didn't have those options, which was a bit sad. So I'm going to make inputs this time, not states. I mean, you do inputs anyway, but I'm going to do, so I'm going to do like a visual group and a logic group. And then I'm going to put in the visual group icon color. In fact, no, and I'm doing it with like this snake case, but I don't need to, because this is going to be a really nice human readable format thing where icon color is going to go to icon color. Icon source, we need our little function thing with the icon function. Did I already put that in here? Icon. Static array, convert the icon object there. There it is. So this is the one that converts the name of the Google material icon into an actual icon object. So icon, this one I'll make a state actually. State. This one I'll make a state, because it would be nice to actually have the names of the icons. Yeah, wouldn't it? No, wait. I don't need this because I'm going to make it here. I'm going to put it, where did my visual category go? Huh? Okay, doesn't like categories to groups today, that's fine. Whatever. So if I connect icon to icon source, I saw this the other day and I got really excited. So that's awesome, that's great. Icons, do icon source and then icon size, and essentially we're like hooking up everything that we would normally do on the outside. We're going to hook it up and pass it through. You'll see what that does. It's pretty cool. That's cool. That's cool. So we need the size, and then yeah, so we need to say if it's mounted or not. It's here. We need to say I don't know. Well, there'll be loads of other things we need to say, but let's say for the moment that's enough. We're going to make it hug the icon, but with maybe 5 pixels of padding, so that we at least have a little bit of space around it. And the icon, the default icon is just going to be, I don't know, a smiley face. And the default color is going to be LearnBook orange. And it's an icon, and that's good. Okay, cool. Okay, let's put it down and see what it looks like. Clickable icon. Look, not bad. Okay, so this is going to be hugging the icons. This is going to be horizontal. This is going to be horizontal. Good. Pill selector and then the icons. Clickable icon number 1. Clickable icon number 2. And then we're going to rename this left chevron. Left lessons. And this is going to be called right lessons. And then look what we can do. We can change the icon here. We get because we connected to the icon input on the outside, we get the icon selector. It even simplifies the whole process of making icons, which is nice. So left, and this one is right. And the icon size is, oh, it's really close there. Why is it so close? Why is it overlapping? Maybe we'll make this pill selector hug the pills. Yeah, okay. Is that good? No, it's not good. That's a bit better. Yeah, okay. Cool. That's good. Left, right icons. We need these all to be centered. Does that work? This needs, oh no, the inside here, everything needs to be centered. That's better. Okay. Center vertical aligned. Yes. And then the icon size. How big are the icons supposed to be? Oh, and they're supposed to be gray. Oops. Well, anyway, it's supposed to be 10, so it's probably 10 by 10, something like that. 10 by 10, 12 by 12. Ooh, no, that's too small. Let's just say it must be 24. Yeah, because, yeah, okay, fine. No, that's fine. Never mind. I'm fine. And then we wanted to make them gray, so we're not going to make them LearnBook orange, we're going to make them sort of dark gray. Is that 2? Yeah, no, they're much lighter than that. Like, something like here. Yeah, it's a bit better. 500. Yeah. Okay, looking good. And now lessons. We're not going away from here today without doing the lessons. So we need these cards here. Beautiful cards. So we have our lesson card. It's a global visual component. We're going to make a image group that's going to have a text in the center of it. And what we're going to also do is we're going to feed this guy some data. This is going to be called test lessons that's going to be a JSON. And we have title, group name, sections completed out of total sections, and created date. Name. Good if we could use the same field names as we're going to use in the real data, because then I'm creating all these entry points for the data. If I just write nonsense and then later on I decide to name the actual fields in the database differently, I'm going to regret it. I'm going to have to go back in and change all of the input names. So it'll probably be name, group, let's just put group name, sections complete, total sections, something like that. So name, group name. The group name won't come from the lesson in the future. The group name will come from what is the most recent group you assigned, or what is the group you assigned this particular copy of this lesson to. So sections complete. That's going to be a number. Sections total. Also going to be a number. And then what did I say? Created date. I should really do some sort of like ISO date. So we'll get an example ISO date from somewhere. Maybe ChatGPT can help us with that. So let's take that as our model. And then image. Oh, we'll just use the default image. It's fine. We're not going to change the image every time. So 4 for testing. The first one is going to be called Prepare Your Job Interview. The group name is going to be, I'll just call it the same thing as in French, Licence Pro 2023. And then it's 2 out of 4 sections complete. And the created date, let's get a date. For ISO dates, ISO format, dates, 1, yes, 1, does it know what day it is today? Maybe. 1 yesterday, 1 4 days ago, 1 a week ago, and 1 a month ago. Oh, can you do that? Oh, clever, ChatGPT. You are, no, it's not the 4th, it's the 5th, you weirdo. But okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. And that's not an ISO formatted date. What the hell am I trying to say? Is that it? ISO 8601? No. ISO UTC. That's the one I want. ISO 8601. Full date and time actually is what I want. Today is the 5th of October. 2023, 15:01 CEST. The lengths I go to, I think I kind of secretly like just playing with ChatGPT, so this is me wasting time right now. But it's good to get used to this sort of UTC way of writing dates as well. And let's take that, put it in here. And then the next one is going to be called, well, let's just put all the dates in first. actually a month ago was too far. It's not really, not very coherent with the fact that it's supposed to be recent dates. So we'll do like 24th. So I haven't been super active in LearnBook, but you know, let's just do some random sessions completed. 3 out of 5. Let's say 0 out of 6 and 3 out of 3, for example. Sounds good. And what are the names? Talking about cinema, individual course for Thomas, and exam prep. Film talk. Individual lesson Thomas and exam prep. So Thomas Masters 2 and Cedric Morel. What did I say his name was? Thomas Gauthier. And Master 2Com. A lot of work, but then when we feed it into our repeater, nothing happens, like magic. And why? Because now we have 4 flat bloody objects. So we need an object to take the data from the repeater and feed it in with, let's get this up, and this is a trick, pin it up, and then you can just keep typing in the the field names. Group name, sections complete. If you're living in a world where there's a button to click up here which says automatically fill in fields based on object please, then you're in heaven, and I am very jealous of you, future person. Because back in the old days, you don't know how good you have it. Back in the old days we had to type in all these things by hand and pin the bloody object open. Anyway, Noodle are very aware of this. It annoys them too, so I'm sure they're going to fix it, but they haven't fixed it yet. So we're going to have the image group. The image group is going to have an image, believe it or not. It's going to have a text, believe it or not. The text is going to be the name of the course, the lesson. The image is going to be the lesson image. The default image is going to be this one here. Which is just a bloody blue rectangle. Awesome. So it needs to be with this. Actually, yeah, let's just take this. Is it SVG? Oh, I don't want SVG, I want PNG. Give me the PNG, please. Yes, we got it. Okay, so it's going to be called chat bubble LearnBook. And we're going to move it into our project folder. Okay, so we're going to make that a blue background. We're not going to use an image, we're going to use a blue background. It's the LearnBook Blue. It's the LearnBook Blue. Is it? Sort of. 1652D8. No, it's not. It's a LearnBook lighter blue, because why not have 100 different kinds of blue? Or you know what, let's change LearnBook Blue and make it this blue because it's prettier. It's probably actually because I made the LearnBook Blue when I was not respecting the designer's color codes. So that should have changed that. Why did it not change that? So that's LearnBook Blue. Yep, it is. Okay. LearnBook Blue, and then that little image goes over the top. So we need to put this image, this is going to be called empty image, and it's going to be there if the image field is empty. It's approximately empty. So we don't have an image field yet. I might add it later to do better demos. So at the moment it's going to be empty. This is what I meant about objects. You can add whatever the hell you want. Like I added an image field that doesn't exist. If it does exist later, it'll be great. So if it is true that it's empty, this is mounted. And if it is false, I want to get my mouse back. If it's false that this is empty, then this is mounted. And so the empty image is this chat bubble. It's starting to come together. The lesson text is right. The lesson that I did this in another project as well. Thank goodness. Yes, there's a text shadow. It's very difficult to get white text on top of varying image types. Oh, the image is always there. Oh my goodness. So forget that. Forget that right out the window. So yeah, the image will be nothing if it's not got a source. So it's going to be this, and this is going to be image. Source set, because I don't have a source yet. Image source set. No image. Great. That's what we want. Okay. So what we need is all of these things to be layered on top of each other, so they're all going to have absolute positions, I guess. And then that means we need to make our image group of min height of, wait for it, 118. That's very small. Keep it that way for now. Okie dokie. So the lesson image lesson name should be 100% width and text height, because we don't want it to overflow from the box. We want it to be centered, and we want to have a little bit of margin on each side because we don't want it to be squished up. Like this one has 14 margin on each side. Yeah, she's got 14 everywhere. Or we say that the image group has 14 padding. No, we don't, because then it will make the... No, it won't work because they've got absolute positions. Muppets. So let's do 14 and 14. And then it's going to be centered. And then this image is already snug and fitted, so it's going to be centered. This text is going to be a sort of big version of Jakarta. 700 weight. 18 is much bigger than 18. 700, and then the text shadow is 224 black with 50% opacity. I don't think we have that many options in text shadow, but I'll see. We can try. Where is text shadow? We don't know a text shadow. We have CSS. Yes, why not? Doesn't look very pretty. Okay. Actually, all we need is the text shadow. Really, all we need is the text shadow. I'm going to do not exactly that big. Yeah, I'm going to create a new style It's going to be called title card. And title card is going to be, can we move it up? No, we can't. Title card is going to be 20 is pretty good. Color is going to be white. And then we have our little text shadow, and it's going to be centered and centered and centered and centered. Yeah, it doesn't look anything like this because why? Because the weight is here. That's why. So we need to select the Jakarta at the weight that we want, which is probably bold or medium. Medium looks good. Yes, medium looks very nice. Okay, and the rounding of the corners of this image group is particular to the image group, and it is 10 border radius. And then the other group has an outline. The outline is, it also has a 10 border radius, and the border is this nice little gray color, 1 pixel. So the whole group has a border radius of 10, and the border styles are 1 pixel and this nice color. And the minimum height is gonna be, 204. And then we're gonna put our details group down here. And the details group is going to have text, text, text. Yes. So this is going to be the group name, sections, and created date. Group Neil. I seem to be getting name wrong a lot today. Group. So sections and date. Oh, and there's a little completed symbol and a, okay, so we need actually a group there. It's going to be called date and status. And there's going to be another text there and maybe an icon as well at some point. It's going to be with saying, it's going to be saying draft. It's probably going to be something like status. So we're going to put status none, not just empty. Status empty, status empty, status, oops, complete, and status draft. Where did my lessons go? There. Okay, good. And then this can be a little bit, well, anyway. Next group, so we have a little icon next to the group name, just a cute little icon. Make things look nicer. We're not going to use our clickable icon, doesn't need to be clickable. It's just a regular old icon will do. We need a user icon. Like this. Something a bit darker. Make this horizontal. Then this is going to be the group name. And then we're going to have, so for our completed and our sections and completed and not and whatever, we need a, so there's two options. Either we use a format string and we say we're going to make it input minimum, input completed sections / input total sections, and then output that. But then if there's only one section, we don't want it to say 1 out of 1 sections. We wanted to say 1 out of 1 section. And so you could then put a state if you wanted to, and then say the state if sections is greater than 1, then say section, output sections, and if sections equals 1, then output section singular. But I would say it's better in this case just to not be afraid and jump into a function. And we're going to say total sections equals inputs total sections, completed sections equals inputs completed sections. If total sections equals 1. So I say equals 1, not less than 1, because if it was 0 sections, it's still plural. So that's actually okay. So if it equals 1 exactly, then we do outputs sections string equals total completed sections, which would be, yeah, plus / plus 0, no, it's just directly plus total sections plus section, because this is just one section. So this would be either 0 out of 1 section or 1 out of 1 section, right? Else output section string equals completed sections plus / plus total sections plus sections. So putting in, oh, hold on, just in case there's no input, 0, and if there's no input, 0. Let's assume that it's new and there's just no input coming out of the object. For example, it might be undefined and we haven't set it up yet. So sections complete goes to sections complete, and total sections goes to total sections, and the output is, oh, I made a spelling mistake, my bad. So total sections, completed sections, section string, completed sections, total sections. Check your code, bad developer. Nah, didn't work. Okay. yeah, I'll need a space as well. But why is it outputting section and not sections? Am I crazy or what? Still not putting a space. Oh yeah, because it's doing this. Okay, so this is if total sections. Ah, yeah, somebody's screaming at the screen right now, saying "You Muppet." That's not a math operator. Anyway, there we go. Oh, it doesn't work anymore. Super. Because yeah, check your code. Check your code. Here we go, 2 out of 4 sections, 3 out of 4 sections, 0 out of 6 sections, 3 out of 3 sections, and if it was 1, we can assume that that's going to be a section. Okay, second tricky point. How do we get the date to say 45 minutes ago, 3 days ago, or 1 month ago? I wonder, can ChatGPT handle this one? Take an input date and calculate distance from current date. Date and time. This is current date and time. Output a string like 45 minutes ago or 2 days ago. Come on, you can do it, ChatGPT. I did not want to have to write out, because I know that that's going to be a whole, like, if it's less than this much, then I put it like this, and if it's more than an hour, then I put it like this, or if it's more than a day. So we're going to have, you know, because you need to have like minutes, hours, days, months, I guess. So we're going to have to think about that for a while. And then the output from that is going to go in here. It's just going to say, I can't understand. Oh no, it does. Input past date and the past date. Yeah. And then the function calculates the difference. And then that then converts this to seconds, minutes, hours, and days. Determines the most appropriate use. That's exactly what I did not want to have to write. Nice. Give the date. I'm not even going to check the code. No, I will check the code. That's a bit silly. But we're going to hook it up and then we'll check the code. Oh, love it. So we'll check the code anyway. So this is all the stuff I didn't want to write. So current date, past, difference, minutes, difference, seconds, difference, if difference days is greater than 1, if difference hours is greater than 1, if different minutes, So yeah, seconds ago, 20 seconds ago, I created this lesson. Awesome. I love it. So it's a bit of a smaller text, this one. 10, it says here, and it's also quite a light gray. Give it a 14. No, give it a 12. Yeah, I'm going to put it at the bottom of that. No, we're going to center everything. No. Yeah, we're going to center everything. Yep. And that was a bit gray, we said. Gray. And this text is probably too big. Oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. Gray. The sections bit is, the sections bit is blue if it's in progress and green if it's finished. And that green is very nice. I want to take that green. I like that green. It's like a kind of chalk green or something. I'm getting very interested in colors now. Success green. That's not the color I want for this though. Oops. I want a gray. And this one, so this one depends on the state. So we're going to say complete in progress. Oops. Actually, in progress is my default. And then font color. Oops. Oops. I'm all over the damn place. Where's my state gone? Oh, I accidentally hit delete. So font color is going to be a color, and the complete is going to be our nice new pastel green. And in progress is going to be our lovely LearnBook blue. So let's hook that up to this. And then we're going to say the so total sections is greater than 0 and completed sections equals total sections. If it's true, it goes to complete. If it's false, it goes to in progress. Reload. Nice. That's wrong, but nice. That was stupid. Hold on. So yeah, it's made draft green because of course I made the draft the one that was 3 out of 3. So that one should be complete, and this one should be draft because that makes sense since it's got 0 out of 6. Doi. And I've actually hooked it up to the wrong place as well. My bad. It should have been hooked up to sections. That's better. And then this draft and complete, but I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'll figure it out later. That's all our bits done. We should have an icon there as well, next to the sections text. And then group them together. Oops. And the icon is going to be, oh, font color is also going to be icon color. Oh yeah. That makes that a bit easier. Just need a circle. And I need to center that sucker. And we're going to make that with a little bit of padding. How much is, oh geez. Zoom, zoom, zoom. 6. Okay, and then we need to make a little bit of a change here as well because that is not centered at all. And that also is probably going to have 6 gap. And then we're going to have some padding that we've missed out on, which is 10. So the whole inner details group is going to have 10 padding here, 10 padding here, 10 padding here, probably 10 padding on the top. Yes. Okay. It's nice. Starting to look like something. Should probably give this a max width as well. But yeah, anyway, what's the gap from here to here is 15. Oops. There. Okay. Getting somewhere. Holy moly. It's been emotional. I still think these texts are too big. They look weird. Something is wrong with that. Something is not right there. I'd say that's 14. Yeah, and I think this is 14. Should probably change body medium at some point to reflect that. Are we missing maybe a little gap in between these guys here? 7, 10. Yeah, it's about a 10 gap there as well. So this details group is supposed to have a 10 gap between each item. That looks like too much. Why is that too much? I don't know. Probably because the groups are 100%, 100%. We should make them hug their content instead an explicit width. Hug that content. Yeah, it's reducing it a little bit, making it look a little bit nicer. Still doesn't really look like this, but it's close. It's pretty close. Yeah, I think I might end up making the cards bigger. See, that looks right. I think that card size is right. It's really just that minimum column width that's not quite right. We need a slightly larger min column width because that's too tight in my opinion. Let's go back and just fix that lickety split. Let's give it a 200 min width. No, it's too much. 180. No. Yeah, that's a bit better. A bit more sensible. So we'll have that stretch, but then I want to make it that it'll only, you know, I'll calculate how far it can go before it does an extra line down here, and then say, okay, only take the first 3 items if the width is less than 900 and 1056 is about the cutoff point. So less than 1056, make it 3 across, and then it can kind of like accordion stretch out and go in depending on how many lessons there are. And actually making it centered was stupid. It's not stupid, but you know what I mean. It should be like this, because if I stretch out here, then that should stay left aligned, because it's to show that there's like not enough lessons to fill the space. Makes more sense. Nice, nice, nice. No, we're not getting into a lot of logic yet, but this has really been a good focus on the visual side of things. I'm not sure I have the energy to do this bit, but yeah, why don't we try? Let's just do this with the you don't have any learners for the moment. I know I said I was going to do this as well, but I don't really have the energy right now. Let's do, I liked having the dummy courses in there too. Let's do this bit with you don't have any learners yet, you don't have any courses yet. Yeah, otherwise I'm going to have to do a whole kerfuffle. Yeah, let's just get them, just make them on the page, at least then it's done. I would like to take that hello world out of there. So lessons and learners row, we have our learners group, and that has, and our lessons group, learners lessons. So learners, so text, 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 group, icon text. So I'm funny faces because surely we don't need to do 2 elements when they both have the exact same stuff. And actually over here, they also have the exact same stuff just with different icons. So we're going to make 1 reusable group. Delete this one. This one is going to have 2 learner or lesson groups. And then within the learner or lesson group, that's where we're going to make our learner group, learner info group. Can't remember what I made that about. Why did I make that? So now we're going to make so I need some component inputs. Obviously that's going to determine if this is going to be a so type hooked up to a state that's going to be learners or lessons. And then that's going to be so title, subtitle, subtitle. No count. And no count message. Sub message. This is all a bit confusing. No count message. I think I'm going to make sense. I have a feeling it's all going to come together. Don't worry, don't panic. Set texts, group icon text. Icon in a group because actually it has a background on it. So I'm going to trust I'm not going to trust the icon background to work properly. And texts. The icon is a big fat plus. And the background of the icon is, oh yeah, so this is going to depend on this. So this is main background. Button background. Button icon background. I promise it's going to make sense. Oh, there is no background, so we're going to call it yeah, icon background. So that actually is the same main button background. So main background you don't need, button background, button icon background. We're going to use that for the subtitle message as well. So that text is going to have button background. To search color, nope. Oh yeah, of course, because it's not a color yet. It's only when it's a color that you can put it into a color. That would kind of make sense. So the title for learners is going to be learners. The title for lessons is going to be lessons. The no count message for learners is going to be you haven't added any learners. You don't have any learners for the moment. Easily add a learner. How would you translate that? Add a new learner. No. Add your first learner. Button background is that's not a LearnBook color. What is that? Yeah, no, it's LearnBook yellow. That we don't think we have in our library yet. We have Notice, but that's just a default color. No, we don't have LearnBook yellow. Where'd LearnBook yellow go? Ah, crap. I can't even delete it because it's gone in the wrong project color place. And I'm doing something stupid all the time, aren't I? You're supposed to select the color first and then tell it that it's LearnBook yellow. I do that all the time. My bad. Otherwise it's LearnBook Blue. The button icon background is 20% white. 20% white. It's a very particular thing, so I'm just going to do that by hand. And that's going to be this group's background color. Okay, and then this group is going to be button background color. Starting to make sense, sort of. All right, this is going to be probably that funky brown, isn't it? Yes, funky brown, so that's the title. And it's going to be funky brown. It's going to be title, yes. It's going to be sort of subtitle sized. And then the text is going to be small. Excuse me. So this is title. This is no count message, and this is no count sub message. This is the new button, add button. This is the add icon, and this is the, oh, we need an add text label. It's a string, and it's going to be add a new learner, create it. So it's add a new learner, create a new course. This is why I think it's worthwhile just having it all separated, because it's a bit different terminology. Lesson. I don't have any lessons yet. Create your first course. And that goes here. And that goes here. Nope. That's the sub message. No count message goes here. No count sub message goes here. This group is gonna be, this group is gonna have 11 padding all around it. And it's gonna hug the icon. And then it's gonna have a border radius of 1,000,000 billion, I guess, or whatever, to make it go round. 100, that'll do. And then this icon's going to get a bit bigger. It's got to be, what is that, 18? Okay. I'm going to put 20, probably. Yeah, 290, that's great. That's exactly what I wanted. Looks beautiful. So I actually don't need as much padding as what was suggested. That's about right. And then there's padding on the inside of this as well. 10. The day that you can tab through these will be a beautiful day. I thought there was a way to do it with scrolling. Never mind. Going crazy. Okay, add a new learner has a 10. Add a new learner has 10 gap. It is also centered. It is also bold and white. We don't have a body medium bold, so can make one, I guess. Is that too bold? Yeah, it's a bit too bold. Let's go for medium. We'll call medium bold. Body medium bold. Nice. Come they both say add a new learner. Oh yeah, because we haven't selected the type yet. Oops. So this has rounded corners as well. We don't forget about that. Rounded corners of 10. And then we just need to make these have a 30 gap. And then we need to say that this one is learners, but this one, in fact, is lessons. And there you go. It was magic. Should have maybe like drum rolled that moment a little bit better, but yeah, I love states. I love states nodes more than anything. 15, 10, and 20. Ugh, another one of those. So, snug. 15. Oh my lord. What have I just discovered? Hang on a sec. You can click, I might be going delirious, but you can click and drag up and down to have more or less. Who knew that you could do that? That was pretty clever. I'm impressed. Why am I doing that? Oh yeah. 15, 10, and 20. I think there's something definitely wrong with these, with the readings that are coming off Figma versus what I'm seeing. There's definitely a difference here. It's not, I don't know, maybe my stuff is bigger. What difference is there between this bit and this bit? 30. Okay. A bit sad having to do all these different kinds of paddings and stuff, but if it's what makes it look pretty, yeah. My goodness, I think we're done. Okay, take a break. Nice. Okay, that's enough. Good. Hope you enjoyed it. See you again next time.